Hello everyone, how's it going? It's 8:58 a.m. I haven't even looked at the percent gainers, but today is the day before Christmas, and I know that in these types of days, a lot of people, maybe not so much this year, but more normally, or if anything, maybe more than ever, people are off from their work. They're looking at stocks and they're trying to get into trading stocks. That's how I joined back in 2014, the last year before. The last trading day before the year ended in 2014, I had my first trade. So here's the thing, I'm going to be completely long biased on these types of days. I'm not going to be short biased. I'll be triggered if maybe a stock like Jack spikes to $1 and does a confirmed breakdown over that level. Um, that might be the only exception, but I'm just going to focus on being like a newbie, just completely long biased on these big stocks that spike a whole bunch and run like crazy. Right, I'm gonna try to be like that perhaps. And SPY, the overall markets were up 0.16%, so it's not that much. We'll keep looking. A lot of these runners are down a bunch today. Some of them were down after hours yesterday, but we'll just keep looking. I'm going to look at stocks. I'm just going to try not to be a little cynical B word. It's not like the movies where, today's the day, right? It's all going to change, but it's just a step, I think, in the right direction. Should just not be so cynical, and especially today, just focus on long setups. Okay, it's 9:35 a.m. CYDY, maybe a potential number 5. I would want it to drop more. It says down 2%, but that's from the 540s. I don't mind this one if I miss it, because it's the ones that gap up and then fall like crazy. Those are always strange, but could very well do it. ABML is dropping a little, but not as well as CYDY. We'll keep watching. Okay, it's 9:40. The new stock to watch for a number 5 is ABML, no longer CYDY. ABML is just dropping better. AVGR is added back to the main screen because it's a bit of a spiker, while SIF was kicked out of here. We'll keep watching ABML. Okay, maybe just a few seconds later, I missed ABML. I don't feel bad missing this one. It was still dropping. And then we had like 25,000 people on the ask. For that reason, I didn't get in. And they were immediately taken out by these big buys. So that's something I learned from number 5 patterns. There was definitely support on the bid building as well. But the thing is that there were like 25,000 sellers on the ask. And those guys, like I said, were immediately taken. So that's something to learn. Maybe if you see the bid building up, even if there are some people on the ask, it could very well spike like crazy. Ooh, this might be a fake number 5. We'll see how this guy continues to go. CYDY is not an interesting drop. I might demote it to the other screen. Maybe head and shoulders, but I don't want to be Mr. Short. I could buy CEI, risking it off of 28-ish. It doesn't spike too heavily. Lots of people on the ask. AVGR is just too spiky for me. Some people want to ask, but it trades a lot of volume, so I need to not take that so seriously. Alright, this is a nice spiker. I missed buying this one just because I was looking at ABML, so I have a good excuse. Not just for being scared or something, but this guy could slowly uptrend from the 120s, just basing it off of this level right here. And if you look back, it was also the tippy top on the 24th of November. Still following this lower low from here. Oof. If it does like a double bottom here, it might not be too bad. If it cracks 21, that's pretty bad though. Yeah, the high is 120. We have some people on the bid, so I'm gonna ask too. That's pretty bearish. It cracked 120. Am I not stay below 120? Am I immediately come back? Technical analysis isn't perfect. Well, this wouldn't be too bad. If it manages to bounce back and kind of hold 120 better, that would be somewhat of a dip buy. SCNS is doing one of those type of triangle setups. It's not a clean looking one. Yeah, ABML looks like it's doing a spike. That's pretty nice. That red candle was pretty iffy. I don't feel bad missing this one just because I learned something from the. It was kind of like this, but maybe bigger numbers in a few of them. They all got wiped out. It is doing it. If it consolidates here, of course it could just spike without me, but if it consolidates, that wouldn't be so bad. It has to like round out to really prove that it's going to hold this level. I'm not confusing this with another stock, am I? Oh, there it is. There's a wick. I was like, where is that wick? I remember it going below 120. We do have people on the bid. I would risk off a 116. Even though that would still be a lot in terms of percentage. I don't know, I want to see it continue to hold 120. It could definitely crack and keep fading away. Maybe it can do an inverse head and shoulders. I will definitely be more comfortable trading the inverse head and shoulders. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I'm in 600 shares at 126. Gonna risk it off of the wick, I think. Really, the worst case scenario is a big, ugly ass red candle, and I don't mind getting out early. Lots of people on the ask. Actually, I'm not liking this. I'm actually gonna sell my shares right there. Just didn't like the build up of people on the ask. That was a $20 loss. I don't mind that at all. Like I said, I can't be so damn picky and scared with everything. In theory, it could risk and hold this level right here, the wick, and it could bounce very nicely. I just didn't like how there were a lot of people starting to build up on the ask. I could have chickened out, and that's fine. I'd rather trade and lose than to just watch it and not do anything. We'll keep an eye and see if CEI does a nice spike. Looks like I got it at 24, I got out at 21. That's not a bad movement. I don't mind that at all. But we'll see if this guy continues to hold this level right here. Probably should have waited for it to touch 120 again, but it could still be holding this downtrending level. But just very significant, holding the 120 level from that November 24 spike could really be significant. Should I buy again? I don't know. That's kind of iffy. We'll see. I don't mind that trade at all. Even if it was 20 bucks, dude. I just have to stop being a little picky little boy. You know, I've been too picky that I miss so many setups, so I'd rather see that even if it does it without me. I'll keep looking for setups. I'll definitely see how this guy does. Okay, it's 9:51. This is kind of like what I saw. Just so many people on the ask, but the bid wasn't as strong as this. and I just didn't like it. I didn't have to do it at the freaking wick. I could just get out right then and there. But it looks like it might actually try to break out of the range. That would be impressive. If this thing does an inverse head and shoulders like I previously said, I'll be interested in buying that. Let's see if 120 holds. We have some people on the ask. The 34K seller is now 37. I mean bidder. Alright, it looks like it's trying to hold. Yeah, the difference is $6 a cent, but I can't be thinking about pennies. Again, just a lot of people selling. It's at 121 again. And I actually bought from here. I didn't use any speed keys. Because, you know, ever since I adjusted this by 100, it's just been much easier to use. Volume is not that good. All of this volume managed to hold 120. It could give out, it could hold, it could consolidate. Very interested in seeing what will happen with that stock. AVGR making some kind of symmetrical triangle. Recently I've seen these things cause a downtrend, so I'm not too interested in just randomly buying that. ABML, you can call this a number 5, 124 to 106, back to 120. Very choppy. This downtrend could have thrown off a lot of people. Not the best number 5. AVGR, yep, still doing that, and SENS, still doing this. I don't know, what do you call it? I've seen something like this before. It's like a sketchy triangle. I don't, not trading random triangles. I definitely, geez, this guy isn't looking good. It could do it though. Looks like Tim actually bought ABML. And he sold at 118. That's interesting. That is really interesting. Alright. CEI is still in the 120s. Yeah, I don't mind that trade, dude. I'm probably gonna. I'm currently down 1400 right now. I don't mind going even lower. You know, I just can't be a little picky under trader, cynical guy anymore. Cause I'm at the market open almost every day for a few months, and there are so many setups I've seen go without me, and I just can't let that happen. I'll gladly lose out. Big seller here at 122. Is it gonna break it though? No thanks. Now we have people at 121. Those were taken out, but we go to 122. My 123 doesn't look very, I don't know. Am I just looking at tickers flick back and forth? Am I wasting time here? Volume is picking up for sure. Alright, this is looking pretty bullish. It's not really inverse head and shoulders unless it were to spike right now, just because the head would be too big. This will be interesting to see what that does. This is having a bit of a nice uptrend, although we got a lower high here. 124. That's nice. It's back to where I was. 125. Alright. We have some bidders here. 14,000 seller doesn't seem to be moving. And we're back into the previous range. I think I'm just watching paint dry. I'll come back later with an update. We'll see if this guy eventually breaks out. I might have been just too damn early. Probably should have taken into consideration how this guy trades. Doesn't really trade. I traded it like a low float stock, and this thing has a higher flow. I probably should have been more patient. But I don't mind losing that 20 bucks there because I've been way too much of an under trader, and if the one time I trade I lose money, that's fine, dude. I can't take it that personally. We'll see what this guy does eventually. Okay, it is 10:02 a.m. CEI eventually failed. It cracked 120. Risking it off of 116 wouldn't have helped that much, and that's why I didn't risk off of this level either, because it was too far from my entry. At that point, I'd rather just get in and out depending on the price action, kind of like Tim Sykes instead of Tim Bertani risking it off a certain level of support resistance. It cracked this 120 level right here. Pretty significant looking back from that day. Also from here as well, although not an exact science. It's now at 114. Definitely were a lot of sellers there. It wasn't doing a very good job spiking. I got out pretty damn early though. I mean, I could have waited a little longer and maybe try to, well, no, actually I wouldn't have really had too much of a chance to get out for a profit, a small profit or break even. Just, it was down $19.09. That's fine. I think this was well worth it. I just need to stop worrying about being right on high odds setups, although this might not have been the highest odds setup. Yeah, just continuing this downtrend over here. It just looks like it was holding at the time, at least in my mind. That's what I thought. SIF, I put it back because it's doing a nice movement. I don't know, maybe if it does a big dip or something to $6, I would buy. I'm not extremely sure. ABML, pathetic. I'm going to move that to the other screen. And AVGR, looks like it's downtrending from that weird triangle thing it did right there. Kind of ended right here. We'll keep looking for more setups. I'm definitely interested in not even ABML, but CY, DY, if it does a big panic later in the day, or maybe even ABML, if it does a humongous panic later in the day, that would be actually a very nice number 5. It's 10:04 a.m. We'll keep looking. Okay, it's 10:08 a.m. It looks like CEI is trying to do a confirmed breakdown, the 120 level. So here in the 120 level, I was considering going long. I bought here, sold the next candle, didn't like the price action throughout the whole range. There were plenty of people selling on the ask. It tried very hard, volume dried up, cracked 120 eventually, rounded off right here with these wicks, and then we had a follow-up spike to 120. Now it seems like, is it going to crack this level? Is it going to hold this level again? It's under this level right here, so it's pretty bearish. It would have to do it very quickly, considering that it's under this very important level. And even if it's looking like it's holding there, it's still under that level, which will eventually, well, in terms of odds, keep pushing it down. So we'll keep looking if it's going to hold there or not, just out of curiosity. I could have shorted at 120. Besides that, it's not much of a setup, and this big red candle is a bit unexpected. I probably would have missed it too, because I probably would have waited to see if there's another candle and how that reacts, approaching the 120 level after it dropped here in the 112s. SIF, not too interesting right now, although it is trying to hold this $6 level. I just don't like that it's under this range right here from the day. Right here, it's under the 611 range, so that's pretty bearish. Maybe today I should have been bearish. That's fine. I just have to keep adapting. Maybe I should change right now and be bearish, but if that's the case, I want to short this unless it were to do some kind of a follow-up spike, make a lower high off of this level. I don't see any setups right now. I'll definitely keep looking. I was somewhat interested in SCNS. Was somewhat interested buying here. It just looked like the level 2, like the way it is right now, it's choking it. I guess it's either an Amex or a New York Stock Exchange stock, so kind of makes sense that the level 2 is kind of sketchy on some of these stocks, not all of them, because it's continuing the downtrend despite it looking very strong on the ask. Had a chance to buy at 97 something cents. I'll definitely keep looking, but I feel much better just trading something, even if it was a loser. Just kind of snapped me out of that ego or pride or whatever you call it. I think I traded it well. I think I traded it pretty well. I mean, nobody gets in a trade and wants to get out the next minute. I did because it just doesn't feel like it wasn't doing the way I wanted it to do. But the setup probably could have been better. That's for sure. We'll keep looking. Okay, it's 10:20. Might be too slow. SIF looking like a head and shoulders. Although we have a bit of a build-up that kind of throws me off, dude. Probably just missed this guy right here. Damn. This is a nice head and shoulders looking thing, risking off of this high right here. Now we're in the 40s again. A big bidder there. I don't know how much that will hold. It's getting pretty crazy right here. I would risk off of the range at 45. So now that we cracked it, that's impressive. That's really impressive. See if it cracks here. The level is 666. No, it chokes there. I don't know if I should even call this a head and shoulders. It could still drop though. It doesn't have to be exact. Very nice spike right here. Let's see if it keeps going or if it's gonna top out. No longer a head and shoulders. This is clearly much. Not really. It's. I mean, you can call this a double top. Huh. There we go. Nice spike over the. This is the head and shoulders that did not work out. This is pretty nice. Very spiky. This is the runner right here. I mentioned previously I could consider buying if it holds. Well, where is it? The level here. Didn't really hold that level. It just kind of spiked past it right here, and it just keeps going. This is nice. I don't feel bad that I tried going short. You know, I would have immediately cut losses the moment it cracked 45. Probably would have gotten the best, you know, execution, but still cut losses quickly because you're not gonna keep holding it. If I was still holding CEI, I'd be down a freak ton. I don't know how much I'd be down, but I would be down, you know, almost 20 cents. That's pretty bad on a $1 stock. That's horrible. So now we have a higher high here. So the fact of the matter is this guy could dip, make a higher low, higher than this range right here at 588, maybe one ideally in the 620s or higher. If it makes a higher low, maybe it'll be a nice buy setup, although we'll have resistance here in the 650s, 60s, but 40 cents from that level, I mean, you have plenty of cushion to get out if it doesn't go your way and still make a profit. So I'll definitely be looking at this guy if it does a higher low setup. Right now it's peaking, no trades there. AVGR, boring, just boring. I'll keep looking. Pretty cool to see that breakout. Okay, it's 10:30 a.m. SIF. You know, when it comes to setups like that, higher lows, or you know, yeah, higher lows. That's what I meant to say. Higher lows. I like to see more than one candle. You know, holding the level. I'd like to see some kind of a follow-up candle, at least two candles, like, please. This guy just immediately dropped to the level right here of support, and then the next candle, I guess it was down there a little too, and then once it did that, it immediately just bounced up to the 660s from the 620s. Not too bad, a little less than 10%, so not super ideal. But you wouldn't have known how high it would have gone. It could have made a new higher high, and it didn't. It made a. Now this is looking like a head and shoulders again at 660, two shoulders head. I'm just saying that right now. This was the failed head and shoulders. Yeah, has a neckline at 620 is the level right here. That's very interesting. I'm probably too late if I wanted to consider shorting that right there. And it doesn't have to work out. It obviously failed right here with this setup. But here's the shoulder, had potential shoulder here. 660. That's interesting. Very interesting. Is it going to do a double up? Head and shoulders failure? That might have been the excessive wick to risk off of. I like how this thing just spikes 20 cents. Obviously, hopefully not against me, but you know. Some people are there on the ask. Pretty strong. It would be too much to risk it off of there. I don't know. This has a pointy shoulder. If this guy just plays it out, holds this here, does a whole bunch of consolidation, that's not a head and shoulders anymore. I'm gonna guess it might try to close up high one of these spikes, one of these candles. Here we go. We actually cracked the level now. If it closes up high, what time? No, 30 seconds. If it closes and makes a big candle like that, maybe. Otherwise, I'd leave this guy alone. It's pretty volatile. It's having higher lows right here. Head and shoulders potential, or maybe it could just be a breakout over the level here, going towards the day high of 749. This volatile stock is kind of conflicting. You can be long or short right now. Long because of the higher lows, this whole rounding up level, kind of like a cup and handle, or short because of the head and shoulders. And I guess the idea is that you, well, I don't know, I'm conflicted, but the idea is that you try one. You try the longer the short setup, you cut losses quickly. That's all you can do. We definitely have a lot of people on the ask, but it breaks through very quickly when it wants to. Here we go, 89. Now we're topping off of this level. This is no longer a head and shoulder setup. This would be now rejection over here, this level at 690 with double top potential. Just like it was here, and it broke past it. I'm not gonna go short, so that means it's probably gonna drop, but you know, you just have to keep adapting. This is so interesting. I don't know what's it gonna do. Is it gonna double top? Is it going to fade off? Is it going to break out, do a higher low somewhere after a dip and break out again? I don't know. This time I actually held the higher, not the higher low, the double top, but for how long, I don't know. You could like say that, oh, I'll just buy because it's holding this level here. Not that significant. I would have considered this significant to hold off of, because that was a market open, and it kind of held here. It spiked a few seconds. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to do a double top. I mean, in theory, I would have gotten short maybe in the high 70s, and it's in the 50s now. And it has till the 20s really to put up a higher low and still look positive. A lot of people on the ask as well as the bid. Very impressive. It looks like it might try to spike again. CEI finally rounded off. Jeez, I mean, 107 to 117. Now you can short, risking it off of the 120 level as a confirmed breakdown again, but I don't know, it might be different this time. Yeah, I'll come back with an update and see what this guy does. Okay, it's 10:39. A lot of stocks on the other screen are fading. This guy putting up some kind of a symmetrical triangle right here. I could break out or I could break down. I'm not going to trade that because that's 50-50. Literally not going to trade 50-50. But if it does a confirmed breakout or breakdown on any level, I'll be interested in trading it. CEI, I was right. I knew it was a bit different. It's doing a little spike. It could fail though. I'm just not going to trade that. Eventually held itself together around 10.25. I was too early. Even if I were to buy here, I mean, it spiked to 12. It wouldn't have been very much, but I traded it well, just not the best setup. As I said previously, SIF definitely going to do a breakout or a breakdown just because of that symmetrical triangle. It was looking like an ascending triangle, but then it kind of still does look like one, but not as much as it used to be because this guy put up a lower high from this range right here. We'll see what it does. It might take a move right here, if not a few more candles. There you go. You see the ask looks strong, but when this stock wants to, it can just break out of it. Same with the bid, but you see that more on the ask. It's not gonna, probably not gonna do the setup here. Maybe the next candle. I'll be interested in seeing if it does up or a downtrend. It definitely did a double top here. It wasn't a head and shoulders. I mean, you could still call it a head and shoulders because the wick was lower than here. But that would have been damn close, especially when it was a full green bar that looked like something else. 691 to 642. Alright, yeah, it's just getting tighter. The range just keeps getting tighter. I definitely missed out. Try not to miss this. It's really doing it, a symmetrical triangle. Not gonna trade it because it could go up or down. I've seen it do more downs lately. We have 10 seconds till this candle closes. And now we're at 43. It opened kind of low, but it is still doing it. This thing is very crazy. So if I was long this or short this, I would be really nervous. Alright, SNES. Wait, that's not the right one. What the heck? I'm too busy thinking of video games. SENS. I missed a buy here at the 97 level. This one turned out to be nice. Would have probably been scared out of here, but it started putting up higher lows, higher highs. This is a nice setup that I missed. I don't know. Maybe if I find myself extra hesitant, I should buy immediately because that's the one that works out. And the ones that I'm not so hesitant in, you know, I should not do it because it won't work out. No, I just can't trade jaded like that. I just have to keep getting better. This is a downtrend. This is a symmetrical triangle downtrend. For how long? Who knows? But that was definitely a downtrend. Now putting up a third lower high here, another one, a lower one here. It can do whatever it wants. If it gets too choppy, I just won't look at it anymore. I just need to change that. Yeah, just a very nice run up. No setups right now. We'll keep looking. Today might be a no. Actually traded today. But no more, perhaps no more trades after now. Okay, it's 10:46. I think it's only been a few minutes later. Definitely a symmetrical triangle breakdown over a breakout. I actually cracked this level here, at least momentarily, at 618. I wouldn't have been short in any of this right here, except for the setup right here, but I would have likely have gone out of here seeing the symmetrical triangle that it could break out or break down, and that just kills your odds. 50-50. I don't want to be 50-50, at least 60-40, ideally 70-30. So this is a nice downtrend. I don't know, I'm kind of mentally exhausted. I might not do any trading anymore or looking at stocks today. But I'm also gonna just check at the markets from now on, little by little, just in case it does something nice. Like SENS keeps doing this nice spike drop, spike drop, spike drop. Is actually kind of getting tighter, the range. This one got a little bigger actually. Who knows what it could do? Just a very nice day, just great learning. CEI is dead to me. Might even be a head and shoulders. Look at a daily chart. There is room to run if you want to go short. It is under that 120 level. And there is a lot of volume on this day, much more volume than here, so there are also back holders likely pushing this stock down. This wouldn't be such a bad like long-term short, risking it off of 120. I might actually do that. This wouldn't be so bad. I don't mind if I fucking buy, sell short, and cover and lose both trades. You just have to keep getting better. But this is looking like a head and shoulders. We got a lot of support there, but I mean we're heading towards the midday. This seems like a slow day, even though it's before Christmas. Lots of stocks are down. We'll take a look. Markets overall are up 0.21%, so not really that big. I could short and risk off of 17. I don't mind that at all. We'll keep looking. Yeah, maybe just a few seconds later, I'm going to cover if it cracks 118. That will be my cover level. I'm short right now, 115. Head and shoulders breakdown. 112 might hold. I might just be playing with little pennies. Big people on the bid. Not so much on the ask, but I'm ready to cover out if it cracks 118. $115 is still there. That was a close one. Alright, we cracked 115 at least for right now. Head and shoulders. Could have gotten a better entry though. Again, I'll cover immediately if it cracks 118. I don't mind buying, selling, shorting, covering. But this is a better setup, head and shoulders. Still under the 120 level too, but I'm not risking it up that high. This guy trades very slowly, so I might cut off the recording and just go over what happened to it. Just a very nice potential setup. We'll keep looking. It really needs to downtrend to be a head and shoulders. If it's just gonna chill there, I'm gonna cover. If I don't see this thing crack 115 in this minute, I think I'll just cover as is. We do have some people on the ask, but that can be taken out with some volume. For a head and shoulders to work out, it just needs to really downtrend, or else it's just consolidation there, and I don't want to be a part of that. Alright, this is the next candle. We're at back under 115. It's touching 114. Good, that's what I want to see. But now we have to crack this level of 114. 113 has been touched. That's perfect. Ooh, still held 113. I don't see people really building up on the ask though. 112 was touched. This could hold 112. This is a pretty level of support. 112 is still has some bidders there, some selling action. 113 is built up, but it might not be for very long. Any buying could cause that to crack 113. We have a big bidder there at 112. 112 could be a level of support. Some big sells are going through, but 112 is still holding. So I'm going to play it safe, I think, and I'm going to just cover. Alright, I got covered at 112, and I don't know how much that was, but I am only down today $3. Alrighty, that was not a bad trade at all. Head and shoulders, shitty stock. Was bullish first, now bearish. Downtrending at the 120 level. Covered because 112 could very well hold. Could very well hold 112, and then it can do whatever the heck it wants. Now we're 113 by 114. Let's get rid of extended hours. I was kind of trading with my eyes squinting there. Yeah, 112 could definitely hold. I mean, that could have been the most of it. To summarize, could I have done anything better? I could have definitely have noticed this pattern sooner and have been short maybe at 117, 119. 117 would have been a more ideal entry point. So wow, look at this beautiful colors. It's like a LGBTQ flag, plus minus whatever, I forgot the whole sequence. All these pretty beautiful colors, my goodness. Alright, that was a great, I'm glad I got into that. I traded an okay position size too. I definitely covered well because definitely 112 could have held. It looks more important when you do it like this. 112 could have definitely have held, and it looks like it did hold for now. So now it can do whatever it wants. Just to summarize, I could have gotten a better entry at 117 or 18. Besides that, I think I did everything well. Nice cover in the 112. Didn't take too long. Didn't wait for it to start spiking. I covered at 113. Very good trade. I'm really happy with that. Only down $3 today, but that's actually just fine. I don't mind this. And now this thing can do whatever it wants. SCNS looks like it's topping right here. Let's take a I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. SIF, yeah, definitely symmetrical. Triangle on the downtrending side. Let's do a screenshot here at SEI. Alright, got that. And SCNS maybe, yeah, actually was a short potential. Let me see. Oh, but it's not shortable. I can't short it here on E-Trade. Alright, I think that might be it. I mean, we'll keep looking. I still have one day trade left. If I run out of day trades, I'll just have to go to Interactive Brokers, but I'm definitely happy that I'm trying stuff. I wasn't too scared. I got in SEI. I could have wussed out. Definitely could have wussed out. And you might say I'm just trading pennies here. This thing could fade the rest of the day. I just wanted to be safe and cover at 112 just to not completely destroy my ego. I'm at 113, I mean. You know, if I were to lose money then and there, I'd feel pretty bad. It was just playing it safe. Could have gotten, like I said, short at a higher level if I noticed the pattern sooner, if I looked at the chart sooner. Could still downtrend, but just a nice cover there. In the meantime, I'll do a recap and see what happens later while I do the screenshot here. SCNS did break down. It did reverse this range. This was pretty I don't want to say obvious, but we have higher lows, higher highs, but then look how much longer this guy was taking. It wasn't able to break much further, probably resistance from this guy here too. So it just took longer and eventually cracked it. So 109 down to 104. It could hold the first range right here, the first low, and it looks like it might try to do that. Maybe I'm being too technical. Maybe I need to find better setups, but I just need to start getting rid of my under trading madness and really just start trading setups. So overall, pretty nice day. We'll see what this guy eventually does. CEI, as well as the others. I'll do a recap later. I think I won't trade anymore unless I just see a beautiful setup. Alright, hello everyone, how's it going? It's 2:55 p.m. It's actually the market close at 1 p.m. So markets have been closed. We're just gonna do I'm gonna do a recap over everything. I haven't really looked at the markets in a while, but CEI eventually got as low as well, I guess if you want to count it here, it got as low as 99 cents, which is pretty impressive. Here was a shoulder, head shoulder, shorted at what was it, 15? Yeah, 15, and I covered at 13 and a half. Well, no, actually 12 and a half, just because it dropped. And this was a big level of support, the 110 level. Is that right? Yeah, 110 was well, it was actually, to me it was 112. Yeah, to me 112 was the level of support, and it actually held that level very nicely for a pretty long time. Why does it look like that? I actually messed up the chart. It looks like each trade has that thing. When it's a half day, it doesn't know what to do with the charts. Anyway, it was pretty nice. It eventually cracked to the level. And now it went as low as 1, but I don't mind that one bit, because for me to have done that, I would have had to have held a very long time. This was a level of 112. It could have bounced from here, you never know. It was a very, very long downtrend. Eventually did it. Didn't take too long, but that's just not worth it because of the fact that it could have done anything. SENS, I mean, it kind of had a nice uptrend. I missed a buy. I think it was here. This thing is messing me up. It's throwing me off on the timing, but yeah, it was a very nice spike from here, and I missed out. Very nice higher lows, higher highs. SIF, I'm just not understanding these charts anymore because they did that. The thing with E-Trade just messed up the hours. Okay. Yeah, definitely just threw me off. All of the other guys like JAGX was down a bunch today. This is throwing me off so hard. My goodness. They all had spikes right here. They all fell, and they all spiked, but they did not get very far. I wouldn't have been able to short this because I cannot short things under $1. OCGN, it's also down 30%. It had a drop too right here, and it did try to bounce back. I didn't short this. I could have in theory, but I don't think. No, it was shortable. I missed the opportunity to reshort the spike, but honestly, I can't really tell you much more because I am thrown off with the charting. Really just thrown off. No other real setups that were good. CYDY did not do a number 5, at least a decent one. Remember, it didn't drop that much, so I didn't like it. Although it did spike, it didn't do it very nicely. It wasn't that nice. ABML was the other one. Not much of a dip either. I mean, you could have counted it, but it wasn't that nice at the time. Really, 2 trades with CEI, and one of them was the buy right around here, thinking it was going to hold the level. Immediately got out the next candle. I don't count that as a bad trade, but the setup was pretty bad. It eventually cracked through, even if it were to have bounced. Probably should have waited a bit longer. And I just watched an interview with Steady Trade. I'll put a link to it in the description. It was actually a pretty good review, and it goes over the market maker side. If you want to summarize it, the other side of this trading, how a lot of these stocks are pumped pre-market to get the attention of real retail traders like us, and take advantage of those who don't trade properly or whatever. Very nice. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. There was a lot of information there, but yeah, that's all I got. I'm down just $3.76. That was a pretty good trade. Could have traded larger on the head and shoulders because it was much more of a solid setup compared to the first trade. I just have to keep getting better. I feel great that I traded. First time in weeks, I think 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna have to keep going at it. It was a pretty good trading day. I think I'll give it maybe a 7 out of 10 because the first trade was a really bad setup, although I traded it well. Besides that, I think it was a pretty good trading day. That's all I got.